As we come to the book of Daniel, there are several very interesting things to note. It's been said that the stories of Daniel illustrate the experiences of God's people as they go through the fulfillment of the prophecies of the book of Daniel. There's also something that you need to take notice of as we read through the stories of the book of Daniel. As we start out, we find Daniel and his three friends being taken captive. And it starts off by describing them that they're of the royal family, they are of the nobility. They are youths without blemish, handsome and skillful in all wisdom, endowed with knowledge, understanding, and learning, and competent to serve in the king's palace, and teach them the letters and language of the Chaldeans. So these are beautiful people, brilliant people that are being taken captive to the land of Babylon. You can kind of sense what they must have been going through from the heights of power in Israel to being taken as slaves to the land of Babylon. And it says that Daniel and his friends over time found favor in the sight of the king. And then comes a test. It says in chapter 2, in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. His dreams troubled him. He couldn't remember the dreams and he couldn't understand what they meant. And so he threatens to destroy all of his wise men if they can't interpret the dreams. So what does Daniel and his friends do? Here's the first important principle throughout the book of Daniel. They go to their knees in prayer. They seek God's guidance and wisdom. This becomes especially important because we find that throughout the book of Daniel, he and his friends do things that are different than what we would expect. So Daniel comes before God and prays, and God gives him the answer to his prayers. He shows him the dream and the meaning of the dream. And Daniel responds with a prayer of praise in chapter 2, verse 20. Daniel says, "Blessed be the name of God forever and ever." And it says then after he comes and shares the dream and the interpretation with the king, that the king gives him wealth, gives him rich clothes and gold and silver. Now, if you remember back throughout the rest of the Bible, we would expect Daniel to turn those gifts down, right? Elisha's servant was not supposed to take the gifts from Naaman when Naaman was healed from leprosy, and he was cursed because he did so. But in this case, Daniel does something dramatically different. He accepts the gifts from the king. He accepts the position and the honor. What Daniel is telling us is that it's not sufficient to just go by what has been done in the past. We must seek God today for God's will for us today. There may be things that God calls you to today that are unexpected for you, that would be out of the norm. But if you will seek God, He will guide you today.